So very good. So answer is option C. Yes, very good. So it's a very simple problem, isn't it? The electric field has been given in the first medium. E1 is equal to the top 4ax plus 3ay plus 5az. And the interface here is x is equal to 0. And we have considered that if the interface is x equal to 0, then this component will be normal. And the other two components will be the tangential. And according to the boundary condition 1, ET2 is nothing but ET1 itself. So ET1 is what? 3ay plus 5az. We have to apply the second boundary condition, which is dn2 is equal to dn1 in this case, because there is no indication of the surface charge density. There is no indication of surface charge density. So therefore, we will consider the value of rho s is equal to 0. Then your value of dn2 will be equal to dn1. Now I want en2. So therefore, I will write it as epsilon 2 en2 is equal to epsilon 1 en1. So what is epsilon 2? It is epsilon naught into epsilon r2. En2 is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r1. En1, epsilon naught gets cancelled out. So epsilon r2, what is the value of epsilon r2? It is 4 here into en2 is equal to epsilon r1, 3 into en1, it is 4ax. So 4 gets cancelled out. So the value of en2 is going to be equal to 3ax. So totally the value of the electric field is the sum of en2 and et2. So it would be 3ax plus 3ay plus 5az. So this is the value of the electric field. So option C is the correct answer. Two semi-infinite dielectric regions. Please write down. Two semi-infinite dielectric regions. Two semi-infinite dielectric regions are separated by a plane boundary at y is equal to 0. Two semi-infinite dielectric regions are separated by a plane boundary at y is equal to 0. At y is equal to 0, full stop. The dielectric constants of region 1. The dielectric constants of region 1 the dielectric constants of region 1 in the brackets y less than 0, in the brackets y less than 0, and region 2 in the brackets y greater than 0, are 2 and 5 respectively. Are 2 and 5 respectively. Are 2 and 5 respectively, full stop. Region 1 has a uniform electric field. Region 1 has uniform electric field. Region 1 has uniform electric field. E is equal to 3ax plus 4ay plus 2az. Region 1 has uniform electric field. 3ax plus 4ay plus 2az, full stop. The electric field in region 2 is dash. The electric field in region 2 is dash. The electric field in region 2 is dash. So we were about to solve the problem, right? So the electric field is given to us in the first medium, and the permittivities of the mediums are mentioned as 2 and 5, right? So First thing is that to identify what is the tangential component and what is the normal component. So as you can see, this part will be the normal component, and the remaining are going to be the tangential components. So I can write the tangential component of the second medium will be equal to the tangential medium of the first medium, first boundary condition, which will be equal to the of 3ax plus 2az. This is the tangential component. Now when it comes to the normal component, we will be applying the boundary condition dn1 is equal to dn2. Once again here, the value of rho s is not mentioned. So epsilon 1 en1 is equal to epsilon 2 en2. So what is epsilon 1? So 2 times the of en1 which is equal to 4ay is equal to 5 times the of en2. So you can see that the value of en2 is going to be equal to 8 by 5 ay. So the total electric field that we can have is going to be equal to 8 by 5 ay plus 3ax plus 2az. So this is the electric field in the second medium. I'm sure all of you have got the same answer. Next, please write down the concept of image charge. Concept of image charge. Achha, before going to the concept of image charge, we should also discuss about what happens if one of my interface is a conducting medium. What happens if one of my interface is a conducting medium? So this is what we call as a conductor dielectric interface. Conductor dielectric interface. So this is my interface. Please tell me one thing. What is the value of electric field inside the conductor? What could be the value of electric field inside the conductor? Very good. The electric field inside the conductor is equal to 0. Now, if the electric field inside the conductor is equal to 0, what would be the electric field outside here? What would be the electric field in the other medium? This is medium 1. This is medium 2. Apply the boundary condition ET2 is equal to ET1. And we know the value of ET1 is 0 because E itself is 0. So the tangential component is going to be equal to 0 here. And we know dn2 minus dn1 is equal to rho s. En1 is 0. En1 is 0, so dn1 should also be equal to 0. So this value is equal to 0. So the value of dn2 is equal to rho s. The value of dn2 is equal to rho s. Okay, so what happens is that you will be only having the normal component, and that normal component is also dependent on what? That normal component is also dependent on the interface which is charged. So if you consider the interface is not charged, then even there it's going to be equal to the top 0. Even there it's going to be equal to the top 0. Right? So this is in the case of a dielectric conductor interface. So after completing the explanation which is given here, you can write down the definition of image charges. Okay, so I'll just take 2 minutes of time and I'll come back once again. Meanwhile, please note down the definition which is given on the secondary screen. Right. So yes, so we're going to discuss about the concept of image charges. So why are we discussing about this particular concept? Let me give a brief understanding of it. See, if I consider a charge Q, let us consider there is a charge called as Q, and we have to find out the electric field at a particular point called as P, which is, let us say, at a distance of R. At a distance of R, can you please tell me what is the electric field at this point? What is the value of electric field at this point? So the electric field at this particular point is actually Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R square in the radial direction, correct? This is the value of electric field, correct? Now, imagine the same situation where a conductor is kept in the nearby area. If I say that the situation is the same, but there is a nearby conducting interface. So when there is a conductor in the nearby vicinity, then if you see what is the value of electric field at this particular point, what we will understand is that this electric field value at this point is not actually the value of Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R square. We will find it out that the electric field value at that particular point is not exactly equal to that of Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R square. It is something other than this particular value. Now, why is this happening? Can you please tell me? Why is this happening? That why, if you are keeping a metal in the nearby vicinity, then the electric field value is not exactly the value that we had earlier. What could be the possible reason for this? Very good. So the charge will be induced on the metallic surface. Yes, we have learned that, right? That when there is a charge and there is a nearby metal, the charge has to be induced in that particular metal. The charge has to be induced in that particular metal. We have seen even in the case of Faraday's law, Faraday's experiment. So what happens is that if you are keeping a positive charge here, it means there will be some amount of negative charge which will be induced inside this particular metallic material. Okay, some amount of negative charge will be induced inside this particular metallic material. Now you see, the electric field at this particular point is not only because of the positive charge you have kept here, but also because of the induced negative charge. It is also because of the induced negative charge. That is the reason why the electric field value is not exactly equal to the of Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R square AR. It will have some extra value. Now this is a problem statement for us. So this problem has been simplified by the scientist called as Kelvin. Now what he has told us is that, so whenever you are having a problem like this, which is a more often a problem, that there is a charge and there is a metallic area nearby, then of course the field pattern will be completely different to what we had earlier. So what he told is that if you are having a metallic plane, you please replace your metallic plane with an equipotential surface. Please replace the metallic plane with an equipotential surface. The charge by itself, and you have to keep an extra charge which is nothing but the image of this charge at exactly the same distance but below this interface, but below this equipotential surface. And because it's an image charge, now we are going to call this as minus Q. And we know why we are writing as minus, because the negative charge is going to be induced inside it. So this is what the scientist has suggested, that whenever you wanted to find an electric field at the same point P, let us say, then the electric field is because of the charge Q, let us say R1 bar, and also because of minus Q, R2 bar. The total electric field will be because of the two charges. One is the charge itself, the other is the image. So whenever, if you study the definition of what you have written, what it states is that the method of images states that the given charge configuration above an infinite grounded perfect conducting plane may be replaced by the charge configuration itself, so whatever charge you are having, the same charge you are replacing, its image, so you are keeping an image, and also equipotential surface in the place of the conducting plane. Equipotential surface in the case of a conducting plane. Okay, so whenever you are having a charge configuration like this, the charge itself under metallic plane, you are replacing this particular metallic plane with an equipotential surface, charge with itself, and there will be a extra image charge which is kept exactly at the same distance. Now, whatever electric field you are finding at this particular point, it would be because of both the charges. One is Q itself and the other is because of its image charge. See, this concept is slightly more important for electrical students, not so very important for easy students. So, the induced electric field is equal to the applied electric field. So, the net field is going to be equal to 0. How is the induced charge affect the electric field? So, please understand one thing, that there will be a field because they are not present at the exactly same point. See, when we told the Gauss law, when we told about the Faraday's experiment, then I told you one thing very clearly, that if you are having a charge which is present in the middle and there is a metal nearby, equal amount of induced charge would be present. Outside this particular region, yes, it is going to be 0. But any particular region which is present in the middle, it may not be 0. It may not be 0. We are not compensating inside. So it is also a similar situation where one is present here, one is present here. So we have to see what is the electric field which is present here because of this particular one. And we have to see what is the electric field because of this particular one. Yes, some of the components do cancel out each other because one is a positive charge, the other is a negative charge. So logically some of the components are going to cancel out each other. But we cannot expect that completely it is going to be cancelled out, because we are not talking about a particular point which is completely outside this particular region. We are talking about finding out the electric field only in this particular region only. So that is the reason why you cannot expect it to be 0 always. A perfectly conducting metal plate is placed in XY plane, right? A perfectly conducting metal plate is placed in XY plane in right-handed coordinate system. So there is a right-handed coordinate system, the XY plane. So let me consider that this is my Z-axis. Now this particular plane that I am having is nothing but Z is equal to 0. This line is actually indicating the XY plane. This line is actually indicating an XY plane. Okay. So we are having the charge which is present at 0, 0, 2. We are having a charge which is present at 0, 0, 2. And what is the value of charge? 32 pi epsilon naught root 2 coulombs. And here the XY plane, this is my XY plane. So the XY plane is nothing but the metallic plane. Now, such case can be replaced with a metallic plane can be replaced with an equipotential surface and a charge itself and its image charge. Now, where do we have to find the electric field? We have to find the electric field at the point root 2, 0. We have to find the electric field at the point root 2, 0. So this is my Z-axis. Root 2, 0 is something which will be present on the XY plane. Root 2, 0 is present at an XY plane. So let me consider this is the point which is root 2, 0. Then what I will do is that I will be finding the position vectors So let me call this as R1 bar and this is R2 bar. And we have discussed previously that whenever you are having a positive charge or a negative charge, always we are going to draw the distance vector in the direction of the field point. We will always draw the position vector or the distance vector in the direction of the field point. The electric field that we are going to find out will be having two components. One is E1, the other is E2. So E1 is going because of the Q1. So Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R1 square AR1 cap. And the second one is minus Q. So minus Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R2 square AR2 cap. So what is a unknown here? You know what is Q, what is 4 pi epsilon naught? So unknown here is nothing but R1 and R2, which we can very simply find out. So R1 cap, R1 bar is given by destination minus source. Destination minus source. So root 2 comma 0. And what is this point? This point is 0 comma 0 comma 2. So root 2 comma 0 minus 0 comma 0 comma 2. This would be root 2 ax plus root 2 ay minus 2 az. This is nothing but R1 bar. Then what is the magnitude of it? The magnitude of it is going to be under root of 2 plus 4, which is under root of 8. This is the magnitude of R1, and AR1 cap is going to be equal to R1 bar by R1. This is R1 bar. What about R2 bar? So the destination point still remains the same. Root 2 comma 0 minus this particular point would be 0 comma 0 comma minus 2. Correct? So the image of it on the z-axis is going to be at minus 2. So I'll write it as 0 comma 0 comma minus 2, which would be equal to root 2 ax plus root 2 ay plus 2 az. This is R2 bar. R2 will be equal to under root of 8. Under root of 8. So let me substitute here. Okay, so Q is something which is common. 4 pi epsilon naught is something common. In fact, R1, R2 are also common because R1 is also root 8 and same is that of R2. So I can take that also as common. And then what you are left with is nothing but AR1 cap minus AR2 cap. Okay. So what is AR1 cap? It is R1 bar by R1. What is R1 bar? Root 2 ax plus root 2 ay minus 2 az by root 8 minus root 2 ax plus root 2 ay plus 2 az divided by root 8. Now you see what parts are going to get cancelled out. What are the parts which are going to get cancelled out? The x component, y component, x component and y component. Now what is Q? 32 pi epsilon naught root 2, and here it is 4 pi epsilon naught R1 square, which is nothing but 8. So this part will get cancelled out completely. You will only have a root 2 here. So root 2 in the denominator you are having root 8, and here it is going to be minus 4az. So this becomes under root of 4, which is nothing but 2 itself. So this would be minus 2az. Right? So if you remember, when we discussed about the concept of point charge, we have discussed about one charge which is positive with one charge which is negative, which are almost kept at the identical distances. Then how to find out the electric field at a particular point? We have used the same concept, no change at all. Okay, so every time you are having a problem like this, the only thing is that you have to find the values of R1 bar and R2 bar. Once you are able to find it, it is almost solved. We have taken the image charge because there is a metallic plane, right? That is what we have discussed. That whenever there is a metallic plane, the negative charge is going to be induced inside the metallic plane. And how to solve the problem? We have seen that we are replacing the metallic plane with that of the equipotential surface, the charge itself and its image charge. So image charge is something that you will always keep whenever you are having a metallic plane. Whenever you are having a metallic plane, always we have to keep the image charge. Vijit, I think this answers your question also. That we will keep an image charge. The concept of image charge will come into picture every time you are having a charge and a region which is kept, a metallic plane which is kept. For example, if you are only having a charge, let us say there is only a charge, then there is no image charge. But if you are having any metallic plane nearby, then of course there will be induced charge present inside this metal. Correct or not? So to solve the problems of this sort, we have to replace the metallic plane with the equipotential surface, the charge itself and its image. So if this is plus Q, this has to be minus Q.